appearance slide, it's making the mistake of putting qualities in an order of importance, when in reality, all of them need equal attention. I want you to imagine a woman who believes that character is more important than physical appearance. She might spend all her energy developing her personality, being kind, supportive, and nurturing, but in the process, she neglects her fitness and appearance. So what happens? She leans too hard on one area and ignores others, thinking her character alone will carry the relationship. You see, a well-rounded woman, one who values character, physical appearance, and other traits equally, is rare but highly valuable. She doesn't put one trait above the other. She understands that her partner needs all of these things to be in balance. When a woman can be well-rounded, she becomes what people call a high-value woman. So if a woman doesn't know how to equally value all of the desirable traits in a relationship, she's going to be lacking in some areas. You need to look for a woman who understands the importance of balancing everything: appearance, character, communication, fitness, whatever. Don't settle for someone who's leaning too hard in one direction and neglecting the rest. A truly valuable woman sees the big picture, knows how to maintain all aspects of herself. Next up is accepting women with male friends for relationships. Here's a hard truth. Men who understand the boundaries of relationships don't feel comfortable with their women having male friends, and they communicate this early on before things get serious. If you haven't set that boundary, you're putting yourself at risk, because the friend zone is a position a woman places a man in where she doesn't find him fitting for an exclusive, intimate relationship, but she keeps him around because he's nice, helpful, or gives her attention. What many men fail to realize is that the male friends in her life may be in this zone, but they still have a chance to break out of it. In fact, some reports suggest that men in the friend zone have an increased chance of getting sex when a woman becomes vulnerable, emotionally needy, or faces life challenges. And you need to know that attention from other men is like dopamine for a woman. Let's say your woman has male friends who are constantly complimenting her, telling her how beautiful, fun, or amazing she is, far more than you do as a partner. These male friends might be lying or exaggerating just to keep her happy, while you're trying to be real and honest. So what happens is, she starts craving that external validation and attention, and eventually, she begins valuing their words more than yours. She may even start drawing comparisons and telling you things like, why can't you compliment me? Why can't you compliment me like this? Why can't you compliment me like that? When a woman is surrounded by men who give her the kind of attention you can't or won't match, it starts tampering with her impressionability. She'll begin to lean into what her male friends say and think, rather than valuing your opinion as her partner. You don't want your woman to be influenced by other men in her circle. Male friends can tamper with her impressionability, creating unnecessary tension in a relationship. If your woman values the attention she gets from other men more than what you offer, you got a problem. She'll end up comparing you to them, and that's a losing battle. So set clear boundaries from the start. If you're in a serious relationship, it's important that you communicate how you feel about her having male friends. Let her know that your relationship is exclusive, and she should value your attention and affection above anyone else's. If she can't respect that, she's not the one for you. She belongs to the streets. Next dangerous mistake is allowing women to nag and complain without identifying the problem. You gotta stop allowing a woman to constantly nag and complain without ever revealing a clear problem for you to solve. We are natural problem solvers. It's in our nature, but you can't solve anything if the woman isn't able to articulate what she's actually frustrated or hurt by. Because when a woman constantly complains without identifying a clear issue, it leads to emotional exhaustion. We sit there listening to her vent over and over again, but without a solution in sight. We start to check out emotionally. If all we're hearing is nagging without any actionable problem, we eventually disconnect from the relationship. And over time, this makes us nonchalant and indifferent, which is a dangerous place to be. If a woman can't tell you exactly what's wrong and instead just complains in vague terms, you're stuck in a cycle of frustration. You're trying to figure out what the problem is, but there's no clear direction. Over time, the emotional connection fades. It's like trying to fix something without knowing what's broken. You eventually stop caring, and that's when loyalty starts to fade, respect disappears, and you begin to withdraw from her emotionally. When a man feels emotionally disconnected, the relationship becomes hollow. We don't necessarily shut down, but the feelings we once had start to vanish. Then the woman becomes undisciplined, uncooperative, and lacks submission. The emotional wall gets stronger, and once the wall is up, it's hard to tear down. But a woman who can communicate clearly and precisely is someone you can work with. She's able to express what's bothering her in a way that allows you to jump into action and find a solution. But if she can't do that and just keeps fucking nagging without giving you something tangible to solve, it leads to disconnect that can ruin a relationship. So fellas, you need to set boundaries when it comes to communication. If your woman is bitching all the time, make it clear that she needs to identify the problem so you can solve it. You're not there just just to listen to endless complaints. You're there to fix things and move forward. If she can't do that, the emotional disconnect will grow. And once you stop feeling anything for her, relationship is over. Now, this next mistake, no one ever talks about. No coaches, no experts, no therapists. I'm probably the only one that's gonna tell you this. Society don't want men to know this. And that's valuing love over respect and appreciation. But before we get into that, real quick, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And to show my appreciation to you, I provided a link to a gift. It's located in the description. Now, one of the biggest mistakes men make is putting love above respect in a relationship. Let me be clear. They are not the same. A lot of men get caught up in the idea of being loved. But the truth is, men value respect more than anything else. Because a woman can love you and still be disrespectful. That's right. Love alone doesn't guarantee loyalty or good behavior. A man would rather have a woman who respects him than the one who simply says she loves him. Disrespectful women tend to become disloyal, and they have a habit of betraying men when they stop feeling the emotional highs of love. But a woman who respects you, even if she doesn't love you in the moment, she won't betray you. She'll rather work through it. Or if love is a priority for her, she'll end the relationship respectfully. And you need to know that love fluctuates. In every relationship, there are ups and downs. Times when you're in love and times when the feeling fades. That's normal. But respect, that has to be constant. When a woman respects you, she won't cheat just because she's not feeling the love that day. She'll maintain loyalty and good behavior even when love comes and goes. But if she loses respect for you, it's a different story. She won't even bother to communicate her need for love. She'll go and bust it open for someone else. You need to make it clear from the start that respect is non-negotiable. Love is important, but respect holds the relationship together when the love fluctuates. Communication is key here. Couples who can communicate well can bring love back when it fades. But a woman who doesn't respect you won't even try to have that conversation. She'll act on her feelings and seek validation elsewhere. So, as a man, you should prioritize respect over love. Let your woman know that respect is the foundation of your relationship. And without it, love doesn't mean a damn thing. If a woman can respect you, the relationship has a chance to weather the ups and downs of love. But if she disrespects you, the relationship is ruined, no matter how much love she claims to have for you. Next up is very common, and it's bending to a woman's lifestyle you can't afford. One major mistake men make is trying to meet the demands of a lifestyle they simply can't afford. In today's economy, many men feel pressured to adjust their entire lives to satisfy the wants of a woman. But that's a fast track to a broken relationship, because women need to understand that the lifestyle they want depends entirely on what the man earns and how financially stable and responsible he is. So let's say you're a man with an apartment, one vehicle, and you're financially stable, and this is your lifestyle. You meet a woman who wants to go out frequently, buy designer bags, have a second car, receive a shopping allowance, and travel regularly. She also wants multiple kids, to stay at home, and work on her personal projects. If your current earnings don't support this lifestyle, you're going to struggle to provide everything she wants. Trying to meet her demands will either drive you into financial strain or push you to work endlessly, sacrificing your peace of mind. It's a losing situation. Meanwhile, the relationship will likely fail because it's built on the wrong foundation. Her wants outweigh what you can realistically provide. Now let's take a different scenario. You meet a woman who's comfortable with your current lifestyle. She doesn't need designer bags. She's fine with staying in, sharing one vehicle, and doesn't expect extravagant travel. She's willing to work with what you built. She cooks, keeps the home, and helps maintain a lifestyle you can afford. That's a traditional woman, and she fits into your existing system without you having to break your back to change it. This type of relationship works because it's sustainable. Now, modern women often expect men to elevate their lifestyle. They want you to upgrade your current system to fit their desires. If you can't afford her expectations, you're forced to either go 50-50 on the finances or reconstruct your entire life to fit her in. This is where men need to approach dating with a calculator in mind, analyzing her maintenance costs before even considering whether you can afford her lifestyle. So women need to vet men based on the lifestyle they desire and date accordingly. She needs to understand what it costs to maintain her lifestyle and align herself with men who can afford it. But most importantly, she must recognize what the man expects in return for providing that lifestyle. If she's not willing to meet his expectations, she shouldn't assume he'll cover her as a provider. And fellas, don't bend to a woman's lifestyle if it's beyond your current means. Date within your financial limits and find a woman who fits into your system rather than trying to force yourself into hers. Now, even though this isn't the last of the 10 mistakes, it is literally the most dangerous one of them all. Fellas, it is crucial that you remember this, because this is what a woman's player's card is built on. It's something no other influencer or mentor will tell you, and that is accepting women who remain hypergamous during a relationship. One brutal mistake men make is accepting women who continue to behave hypergamous after the relationship begins. While hypergamy can help a woman select the man she feels she desires, it becomes a curse when she doesn't know how to settle down, because Men by nature are hypogamous. It's a difference. We've mastered the art of settling because it's in our DNA. Once we decide to commit, we can settle into a monogamous relationship without constantly seeking something better, and we can date down. But women, they're wired for hypergamy, constantly looking for the best option, always seeking to trade up. This hypergamous instinct can make a woman unimpressionable, and we talked about that earlier. When she's always looking for the next best thing, it's nearly impossible for her to form a strong emotional bond and settle down. What's even worse is when she starts to decline from her peak value, but still holds on to those same high expectations. Her preferences no longer match the value she brings, and that's when hypergamy becomes a curse. It's important that you understand when a woman maintains hypergamy during a relationship, she's at the highest risk of monkey branching, and that's moving from one man to the next without ever settling. Hypergamy creates a burning lust for the next best thing, leading to FOMO, a fear of missing out. And when a woman feels like she's missing out, that's when cheating happens. She'll seek out the man she thinks is better, and in most cases, that's the guy she cheats with. This behavior is different from men. When men step out in a relationship, it's often about filling a void, and usually with women that we wouldn't even settle down with. But when a hypergamous woman steps out, she's usually already thinking of the next guy she want to be with. A woman who doesn't turn off her hypergamous nature during a relationship is dangerous. She's always going to be at risk of promiscuity and infidelity, and that's why it's essential to be with a woman who knows how to settle down and isn't constantly seeking something better. When a man commits to monogamy, the woman must also turn off her hypergamy to ensure loyalty. So as a man, don't accept a woman who continues to display hypergamous tendencies once the relationship starts. Make sure she's willing to settle down and commit fully to the relationship without constantly seeking someone better. If she can't do that, she's not the right one for a serious long-term commitment. Settling down is a two-way street. If only one of you is committed, it won't work. Now here's the final mistake. Can a man ever forgive a woman for cheating? Now I dive deep in this topic in the next video, and this last mistake you don't want to miss, so check it out. See you on the next one.